Okay, so today we're going to talk about Google. And for years, Google was one of the best marketing platforms ever. And honestly, Google still works to an extent, but there's a problem that nobody seems to be talking about. Every single one of your competitors knows they need Google. They're buying the Google ads, they're hiring SEO companies, they're collecting the reviews, and they're optimizing their websites. They're doing exactly what you're doing, which means every year you're fighting more businesses, you're fighting your competitors for the exact same customers. Okay? That's what I mean when we're going to go over this graphic here. That's what I mean when I talk about the law of diminishing returns. The effort keeps going up, the competition keeps increasing, and the results become harder and harder to achieve. And meanwhile, most local businesses are completely ignoring where attention actually lives, which I'm going to get into, Instagram, right? And yeah, that's what I want to show you today. So if we think about the city that you're in, whether you're in Orlando, which is my focus, whether you're in Tampa, wherever, right? You have to think about, did homeowners, suddenly double? No. Did people needing roof repairs double out of nowhere? No. And what I mean by that is attention, demand. Demand grows slowly, right? Competition grows rapidly. Everyone wants to start a business for some reason. Every contractor, chiropractor, med spa, dog trainer, whatever, right? You're trying to all rank for the exact same keywords, and the pie like barely gets bigger, but more businesses keep trying to take a slice out of it. That's why SEO is harder. That's why Google ads are more expensive. Cost per click, which a lot of people talk to me about, continues to rise, and you're working harder for the same attention. Okay? Google is capturing people who already know that they need somebody, right? And that's important. But what that actually means, think about what it actually means, right? The customer has already decided. They're like, I need a roofer, I need a chiropractor, like they're searching, and now they're comparing as they're searching, and now they're requesting the quotes, and you're entering the conversation after the buying process has already started. So Instagram works differently. Instagram is going to let you create the desire before the search ever happens, right? So people don't wake up one morning like, oh, I want to hire, a dog trainer, right? Something happens in that situation, right? Where like the dog embarrasses them, or they stop like enjoying the walks. Just something happens, right? They don't wake up thinking, oh, I need a roofer, like something has to happen. The shingle broke, whatever, right? Now the idea of hiring that individual starts growing, okay? Instagram is letting you educate people during the entire, and you can watch another video I made about the buying journey. Instagram is letting you educate people during that entire journey, right? So here's one way to think about it. Google is essentially an auction. That's what I look at it. One homeowner is searching, 10 people want the job. Okay, it's like going to a strip club and it's like 10 people want the girl, right? That's literally what Google is like a strip club. Now, what happens with this is there's price, right? Reviews, availability, response time, but everybody is fighting over that one person. It's incredibly competitive. Instagram is changing the equation, and instead of waiting for one homeowner to search for you, you can introduce yourself to thousands of them before any of them actually need you. And I think that's the biggest mindset shift as we go here, right? Google says, I'll meet customers when they're ready. Instagram says, I'm already going to make sure that you know me. It's completely different because people are buying now from businesses that they're familiar with, not necessarily the businesses with the best, SEO or whatever, right? So everyone wants intent, but nobody's creating attention, right? Intent is valuable. Attention creates intent. Everything comes together, right? So if someone has watched 30 of your videos, seen your client results, watched your stories, laughed at the content, whatever, by the time they already need your service, like you're already ahead. You're essentially like pre-selling everybody beforehand. I've had one client, his name's Chris actually. works with me. Does like surface protection for countertops. He's the guy I talk about him all the time because he books in old women off Instagram. People always tell me, "Oh, my demographic's not on Instagram." Like the guy's booking in 75-year-old Betty White to help remodel her kitchen. It's like mind blowing. But with Google, right, they make everybody look similar, right? You're literally just another name on here. So if I type in, if I go in and I type in roofer Orlando, Florida, right? All these guys look the same. Literally, we have a name and some reviews to go off of, right? Honest Abe. It's probably the one I'd pick because of the name, right? But that's it. You're a name with reviews. But if I go in on Instagram and I type in roofer, right? I might pick the guy with the nice branding who's got tons of testimonials, right? I can actually go look instead of like having to you're just another name on here, right? So it makes everyone look similar. The reviews, the phone number, the website. Instagram is letting you build an actual brand because people are buying people. They're buying personality. They're buying trust. And it's really, if you think about it, it's very difficult to communicate through Google, through a Google listing, but it's incredibly easy when you're building a brand on Instagram and actually creating content, right? So that's why what we do, we build our clients around Instagram. We're not waiting, okay? We don't wait. We create attention. That attention builds trust. Trust creates followers. Followers become conversations. Conversations become customers. And unlike Google, that audience keeps growing. And once you get those followers off Instagram, local people, by the way, not bots, you get those followers off Instagram, they stay with you. Like, they don't go anywhere. They keep seeing your content and they're exclusive to you. They followed you for you, right? So the audience is going to keep growing. So every ad, every reel, every story, every testimonial, it's going to make your business recognizable. You become undeniable, and that's essentially an asset, right? So am I saying that's my last one here. Am I saying that Google never works? No. Google can generate business. It still will. But relying on it as the primary growth strategy in 2026 is ludicrous. It's becoming a law of diminishing returns because there's so many competitors on there, right? So more businesses, more competition, higher costs, harder rankings, and meanwhile, attention has never been cheaper on Instagram. We've got a client. You can literally pull him up right here. I interviewed him the other day, Mr. John, who told me, and we've been running this ad. By the way, our ads don't fatigue whatsoever. So if you're this deep in the video, we've got an ad with John here. Ad's been up since March 13th. It's literally August 7th. The guy's still running it. Attention has never been cheaper because those businesses that dominate over the next decade are not going to be the ones waiting for searches. His cost per lead is like astronomically cheaper on Instagram compared to Google. And we got another client too. I work with a lot of dog trainers, but I have all kinds of businesses. I have barbers, that I work with, photographers. But Jose, for example, this guy, his ad has been up. Let me pull his ad up here. His ad has been up since July of last year. He pulled back on his Google ad spend working with me, literally July 8th, 2025. Right? So it's like businesses that dominate over the next decade, they're not going to be waiting for the one that searches. They're going to be the ones creating the demand. And it's not about this client has X amount of followers, right? Because followers, like that number, if you had 10K, I'd rather have 2,000 local people following me rather than 10,000 bots, because that's 2,000 people that are going to potentially buy from me. But these businesses are going to be the ones creating the demand locally, right? Building trust, growing their audience, and becoming the company that people search for by name instead of by category, okay? There's a huge difference between someone searching for, we're on Jose's page, right? There's a huge difference between someone searching dog trainer near me, right? And you can search it on Instagram. It's literally, like, Instagram's how I found my boxing coach. I practice what I preach. I literally typed in boxing coach, right? Found him, right? He's not running ads, of course, and maybe one day I'll make him my client. But, if I would have known him by name, I would have typed in Rashad Mays boxing coach, right? But the thing is, there's a difference between someone searching dog training near me and someone searching word of mouth dog training, right? Which is funny that his name is that, but we do ads for him. But that is when you have stopped competing and you have become the obvious choice in your area. So if you enjoyed this video, give me a like, subscribe. I'm trying to make videos every week. Last one I made was 12 days ago, so I'm dropping this one today, and I'm just trying to stay consistent with the YouTube. But yeah, if you got something out of this, drop a like, drop a comment, let me know any questions you have, and yeah, hope you guys have a good day.